The grocery store hummed with the usual weekday chaos, shopping carts clattering, children whining for snacks, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. But in aisle 7, time seemed to stop for Sofia Martinez. Her hands trembled as she swiped her debit card for the third time, declined. The cashier's polite smile turned stiff. Behind her, the line grew restless. A sigh, a muttered complaint. Her 6-year-old son, Jake, clutched her leg, his wide eyes fixed on the box of cereal she'd promised him. "Mommy, it's okay," he whispered, but the crack in his voice betrayed his hope. Sophia's throat tightened. This wasn't just about cereal. It was the last of her money, the last of her pride. Then a hand reached past her. A crisp beep as a card slid through the reader. "I've got this," came a calm voice. Sophia turned to see a woman, early 30s, warm brown eyes, no-nonsense ponytail, tucking her wallet back into her purse like she just paid for a coffee, not a stranger's $150 grocery haul. The cashier blinked. The line fell silent. Sophia's lips parted, but no words came. The woman, Lena, didn't wait for thanks. "We've all been there," she said softly, before grabbing her own basket and walking away. But what Lena did know, the security camera above Register 4 had caught everything, including the moment she slipped something into Sophia's bag when no one was looking. And in 48 hours, that footage would ignite a firestorm of hope no one saw coming. Sophia's knees nearly buckled as she pushed the cart through the parking lot, Jake trailing behind, clutching the cereal box like a trophy. The summer heat pressed down, but it was the shame burning her cheeks that made her sweat. 3 months behind on rent. The eviction notice tucked in her purse. The way her boss had said, "last in, first out" when the daycare cut staff. She'd sold everything but the crib Jake had outgrown, that final scrap of normalcy she couldn't bear to part with. Inside her rusted sedan, Sophia finally let the tears fall. "Why is the nice lady crying?" Jake asked, tracing her wet cheek with sticky fingers. The question shattered her. She'd promised herself he'd never see her break. The grocery bags rustled as she reached for the cereal and froze. Beneath the milk cartons, a crisp $100 bill fluttered in the AC breeze. That woman must have. No, she couldn't accept this. Sophia flung the door open, scanning the lot, but Lena's silver SUV was already turning onto the highway. Back home, their cramped apartment smelled of mildew and microwave meals. Sophia counted the money again at the chip formica table while Jake crunched cereal straight from the box. The bill felt heavy as lead. This wasn't charity, it was someone's hard-earned money. She'd return it tomorrow, track down that kind stranger somehow. But when she unfolded the bill, a note fluttered out in elegant script. "For the cereal superhero, pay it forward when you can." Outside, thunder rumbled. The first fat raindrops hit the window like a promise. Mr. Reynolds squinted at the grainy security footage on his office monitor. As store manager for 15 years, he'd seen his share of shoplifters and scammers, but this, he rewound the timestamp again. There it was, the dark-haired woman discreetly tucking something into the other customer's bag after paying. Not stealing, giving. He rubbed his temples. Corporate would skin him for releasing footage, but... The post went live at 9:03 p.m. on the store's community page. Random act of kindness caught on camera. By midnight, shares hit the thousands. Local news producer Mark Rivera spotted it during his nightly scroll. "We need these women," he barked to his team, already drafting the chyron. "Mystery Good Samaritan strikes again." Meanwhile, Sophia stirred mac and cheese at 6 a.m. when her phone exploded with notifications. A childhood friend had tagged her in the viral post. "Is this you?" The security still showed her profile clear as day, Jake's tiny hand gripping her jeans. Her stomach lurched. Public pity was worse than private struggle. She reached for the delete button, then paused. Hundreds of comments poured in. "This restored my faith in humanity. Where can we help this family?" At the same moment across town, Lena's coffee cup hovered halfway to her lips as her sister shoved a phone in her face. "Your internet-famous do-gooder." The footage played on loop, her swiping the card, the secret cash transfer, all set to some sappy piano music someone had added. Lena groaned. She'd avoided cameras since leaving the army precisely for this reason. But as she scrolled through the comments, her pulse slowed. Maybe this wasn't about her. Maybe. The studio lights burned hotter than Lena remembered. She tugged at her collar as the morning show host leaned in. "So you were once in Sophia's position?" The question hung in the air. Lena hadn't planned to share this, hadn't told anyone about those months after her discharge when ramen packets were dinner and the VA backlog left her sleeping in her car. Her voice barely wavered. 5 years ago, a stranger paid for my gas when I was stranded. That $20 got me to a job interview." She looked straight into camera 3, willing Sophia to be watching. Sometimes the person who needs help most is the one too proud to ask. Sophia was watching, frozen in the cereal aisle where this all began. Jake danced around her legs chanting TV lady, as other shoppers stared. The screen cut to a taped segment about the avalanche of donations pouring into a GoFundMe some viewer had started, $35,000 and climbing. Sophia's vision blurred. That money could mean last month's rent at a better complex, could mean preschool tuition, could mean. A hand touched her shoulder. She turned to see Mr. Reynolds holding out his phone. "She's here," he said simply. There, standing by the customer service desk in a faded army tee, was Lena, flanked by a news crew. The air left Sophia's lungs. Jake broke free and barreled toward Lena before Sophia could stop him. "Serial superhero," he shouted, and the entire store burst into applause as Lena scooped him up, her own eyes glistening. The security camera overhead captured every frame of their embrace, a moment so perfect it would later play on national news. But what the lens didn't show was Lena whispering in Sophia's ear, "They want to interview us together, but this is your story to tell." And Sophia, for the first time in years, standing tall. The bakery case sparkled under new lighting, every cupcake and cookie arranged just so. Sophia wiped flour from her cheek as the grand opening banner fluttered above the door of Sweet Beginnings. The reporters had loved the angle struggling mom turns viral moment into thriving business. They didn't need to know about the 4 a.m. baking sessions, the YouTube tutorials on fondant, the way Lena had shown up with contractor friends to help renovate the space. Cross town, Lena pinned the nonprofit's first donor check to the bulletin board, $10,000 from a tech CEO who'd seen the interview. Veterans feeding veterans, would stock pantries for former service members exactly where she'd once been. Her phone buzzed with a text from Sophia. "Jake wants to know if his superhero is coming for story time." The attached photo showed him proudly wearing an apron half his size. Even the grocery store had changed. Mr. Reynolds now led kindness workshops for employees, and the security camera that started it all had a small plaque beneath it. "Every moment matters." Tourists sometimes asked to take pictures by register for, though corporate still grumbled about the crowds. But the real magic happened on rainy Tuesday afternoons, when Lena brought coffee to the bakery and Sophia slid a free cookie across the counter. No cameras, no hashtags, just two women who'd accidentally reminded the world that goodness still grows in the unlikeliest soil. The security footage still circulates sometimes, that grainy black and white moment when one woman's act of kindness went viral. But here's what they don't show: the way Jake sleeps with that cereal box on his nightstand like a talisman. How Lena keeps Sophia's thank you note folded behind her VA card. The elderly couple who heard their story and anonymously paid a stranger's hospital bill. Because that's the thing about kindness, it never really ends. It's the single mom who now employs 3 others at her bakery. It's the veteran who turned her darkest days into a lifeline for others. It's you, watching this right now, wondering if your small act could matter. Look around. Someone's card is declining. Someone's hope is running low. The miracle isn't that one moment changed everything, it's that this moment could be yours. So go on, swipe the card, leave the note, be the reason someone believes in goodness again. And who knows, maybe somewhere a security camera is rolling.